Very cool. Pre-show to the show.
To the show.
Yay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. So we
Yes.
should be live now. We've got a bunch of folks watching. Everybody say hello
Very
to
cool.
Ty. Ty is monitoring the chat room, so y'all need to be sweet as usual. And if you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube directly, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, and that way you can get in on the chat. So people are saying hello to Ty in the chat room right now. Ty,
Hey, guys and gals.
if you want
Hello.
to if you want to get an account
Yes.
there, I think what button is it that you press? Yeah, there's a little person icon down in the bottom right-hand corner of the chat room that would allow you to
Mm-hmm.
log in. Or no,
Uh-huh.
maybe that's bottom left-hand corner. So you can just log in, give yourself a name, and join the other folks. Um,
I
but
believe
Ty,
I've been on here with my Twitter.
I
Sorry.
think you have. Okay, there we
Mm-hmm.
go. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the chat
Mm-hmm.
room. Very good. Ty, are you in Orlando today?
Today, yes, I'm in Orlando. I'm at my office. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
6. Okay. And it's time. Let's see. Let's do a little quickie here. Folks, we're just getting ready for today's show, so a couple little nitpicky little things here and there, like the URL to Ty's website. It's TyMediaGroup.com, right?
Yes.
Okay. I hear somebody open the door in the background.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, not, no, not here. Uh-uh.
Then it must have been here. I can't
Yeah, it
imagine.
wasn't here.
Okay.
Yeah. There's only one little door here, so
Okay. Well, let's see.
yeah.
Let's
I,
put that there. And we are going to move that. No, 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 no. Yeah, that's right.
mm-hmm.
Okay, bear with me just a second. I'm getting your URL.
Sure.
So
Thank
that
you.
we've got it right there. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, Bill from Texas
Yeah.
says there's a ghost down in my neck of the woods opening doors. That's it.
Very
That's it.
cool.
All right. And,
Yes. I have another, I'm sorry, Tom. I have another domain, which is iptvbusiness.com. iptvbusiness.com. It's pretty much in development, but it's live actually. But just to kind of give the IPTV gurus something to snack on out there, right?
okay. All
Yeah,
right. We'll make sure to mention that.
sure.
All right.
We're
Byron
so
said
famous.
Byron says that he thinks you're in front of a green screen. We could almost key out that green, Byron. It's just not quite as solid as we need. All right.
That's
Let's
too cute.
see.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got 27 people in chat, 32 people watching on
Very
YouTube.
cool.
So that means that there are 5 people that aren't in chat on YouTube. Come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com before the show starts, because we're
Mm-hmm.
about to start, and that way you'll get in on the chat. Rudy, no
Mm-hmm.
closed captioning today. Yeah, we'll do that maybe next week. We couldn't pull it together, and I wanted to give Ty the whole stage today.
Ah, not the whole
Um,
stage.
Yeah, it's all you.
Oh
And
gosh, I'm scared.
oh yeah, right, right. I don't believe you're scared of anything. If you're watching
Oh,
us on
stop it.
Facebook, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, and that way you can get in on the chat. And the
Hmm.
chat looks something like, let's see, what does the chat looks like? The chat looks something like that right there. So
Hmm.
come on over. You can get in on the chat. You can talk with other folks, and you won't want to
Very
miss that.
cool.
All right, so
Yeah.
that's the shot we've got there for the show. We've got that one for the post show, and then that one for the pre-show.
Hmm.
And we'll turn that off. All right, very good.
Uh-oh.
John
One
wants
second.
dancing Smurf. No problem. No problem.
Actually, the door just opened, guys. So sorry about that.
No, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, Ty, you ready?
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready for your team,
Okay.
your
All right.
fans.
All right. Well, I'm going to mute your mic, and we'll go
Okay.
into the little jaws of death and get the show started. Get the star started. So we're going to take Ty away for just a minute, and we will get going here. I'm trying to read what's going on in chat and see if they're talking to me. I think they're not. They're talking amongst themselves. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, and this is Streaming Idiots. I tell you what, I am so excited to. I say that every week, but it really is true. I'm so excited about this week's show. We've got a super guest, Ty Young with Ty Media Group, is coming on to tell us her story and talk a little bit about a book she's written, one of several. But we're going to get to Ty in just a second. I did want to give a special shout out to all the folks watching us on Facebook and YouTube after the fact. If you're watching this video on demand, we're so glad that you tuned in on demand, and hope that you will subscribe to our Facebook page, the Streaming Idiots group, right down at the bottom there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, if you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that way you'll get a little bit of an advance notice of any of the other shows that we've got coming up in the future, because we have got some great we've got some great stuff coming up. I can't wait to get to all of it. Also, wanted to make a note. Last week, we talked a little bit about the idea of having a professional society of live streamers, a group that could help set the standards for the live streaming industry and be a sort of a collective of individuals that can talk about what's going on as we shape this new venture that we're all involved in as we move it forward. We have an opportunity to kind of determine the directions, little things like setting up a code of ethics, so that being members of this society has some value, much like the realtors being a member of the National Association of Realtors, for example. That has value. And so if you're interested in that, by all means, would love to hear from you. Shoot me a note, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com. And we're putting together the group of folks that are interested, and then we'll probably have a big hangout meeting or something to begin talking about what that would look like and how we would put it together. And it could be international. So if you're not from the States but you'd like to participate, go ahead and shoot me an email, and we'll get in on that too. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. And it could be some hard work, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun and worthwhile. What else did we have to say? Something else was going on today, and gosh, Oh, I know what it was. You would think of all these things that I would think about it, but it's the streaming awards. I got to toot my own horn sometimes, right? If you haven't voted in the streaming awards, please vote. It's streamingawards.com/vote. The voting ends Friday, and they'll announce the winners Friday. There's several different categories. Streaming Idiots has been nominated for the best male host, and I guess that means me because there are no other hosts on this show. So we'll see. I don't expect to win. But I would like to place in the top 10. That would be a lot of fun. So go to streamingawards.com/vote and vote. You can give me up to 3 votes. I hope I've earned all 3 of them. There are also some other streaming idiots on there that you'll want to take a look. As you go through the list, you'll find about 12 or 15 folks that are members of our Streaming Idiots group that have been nominated in the sports category or the best production category or the best producing category or male host or female host. So go through the list and vote for anybody named Sinclair for sure. and anybody whose name you recognize from the show, from the chat room, or from the Streaming Idiots group. We'd love to have. Oh, there we go. Bruce says that he's given us our vote from Canada. So thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. And we'll get that little thing out of the way there. There we go. All right. So we got that out of the way. Yeah, Giles is saying, I must go vote. I haven't do that. And as they like to say in the States, when it comes time to an election, vote early and vote often. So enough of that. The other thing is that we're getting a lot of interest these days in our live streaming gear PCs. That's our line, our brand of live streaming PCs. So if you are interested in having a streaming PC for your church or your sports team, city hall, for your professional organization, or even just for your own use, either professionally or personally, we can build you a custom PC or take one of our off-the-shelf PCs that we've already built and make it just for you. We can customize the capture devices. We can customize the box that it comes in so that it fits well with whatever you need it to. We can rack mount it. We can make a square box. We can make a round box. Well, maybe we can't make a round box, but we could try. If you need something like that, check out our website at easternshorebroadcasting.com. We use Magewell capture cards. We're a Magewell representative. We of course we supply vMix with them because we're a vMix representative. Some of the units we actually supply with the X keys because we represent X keys. And then we have some bundles where we also include the PTZ Optics PTZ cameras because we represent PTZ Optics. So if you have needs either for the live streaming gear or for any one of those different products or services, give us a shot. EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. Be delighted to help. And I think you'll find having a personal contact can sometimes make that process a lot easier. Once you've learned it, yeah, you can buy it off of eBay just about. But it's that learning process, and that's where I think we can add a lot of value to that for you. So EasternShoreBroadcasting.com is the place to go because we are all about live streaming. How about that for a commercial? Got it all done in 29 seconds or less. Okay. So, warming up in the bullpen, in the green room, as they say, is our special guest today. Her name is Ty Young, and Ty comes to us by way of Orlando and the Ty Media Group. Now, before I bring Ty on, because once I bring Ty on, she's going to captivate you, and I'm not going to be able to get a word in edgewise. So let me just say, when I met her over the phone, golly, it might almost be a year now, Ty. I don't know. But again, I can't bring her in quite yet because she's going to talk and she's going to captivate you. But right now, I want to do that. But I was so impressed with this young woman, and so impressed when she told me that she had authored a number of books, both for herself and for her clients, and just seemed like the kind of person that is our kind of people, kind of quality people that works hard and understands what it's like to collaborate and help raise everybody's boats and that's why I wanted to bring her on to you. So, with no further ado, let me bring Miss Ty Young into the shot. There she is. Hey Ty, welcome.
Hey guys! Oh my, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Tom.
Well, you're very welcome. We've talked about this, and actually, Ty's been on the schedule a couple of times, and I had to knock her off and say, "Oh, Ty, I'm not." What it was is I wasn't ready to do her justice. That's what it was, and so I'm so delighted
Ah,
that you would take time with us today, and be here. Tell us. I've got a number of key questions that I got to get Ty rolling on. But first, tell us about the Ty Media Group. What's the Ty Media Group?
yeah, so Thai Media Group basically we do business consulting, small business development with all things media. Okay, book publishing, IPTV channel development. We do application development, iOS, Android as well, Samsung, LG, all the different tools that small business owners can actually use to increase their visibility, increase their credibility, increase their platforms to actually increase their profitability. That's why we're all things media. So we're Thai Media Group, where you can use those tools to actually take you to the next level.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And she's obviously practiced that because she got it right there and she got all the necessary stuff. But
Too funny.
Ty, tell us a little bit about your
Yes.
background. Tell us about you. Where'd you
Yeah.
come from?
sh- Sure. So I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Currently living between Orlando and Miami, Florida. I ended up on my own raising myself at 14 years old in Los Angeles. And I had a little brother who happened to be 1 years old. And I actually raised my brother from 1 years old until he was 17. So I was a parent at 14 years old. Okay. So the amazing thing is I ended up meeting a friend who introduced me to the pager and cellular phone business. Okay, where I started buying phone numbers wholesale and reselling those phone numbers to people in Los Angeles at 16 years old. So by the time I was 19, I was making about $20,000 a month. Yes, from
Wow.
being homeless at 14. From being homeless at 14, yes, having to raise my younger brother. Yes.
Your brother's
So,
fortunate to have an
um,
advocate like you fighting for him. Holy cow.
oh wow, I didn't have a choice. You got to do what you got to do. So, but in Los Angeles, I networked with a lot of people in the TV business, music business, and I was highly interested in the music business more so than television. And I met someone who was interested in the pager and cellular phone business. This was in 1988. Okay,
Okay.
and so they lived in Washington D.C., that person. So they asked me would I open a store like the one I had in Los Angeles in Washington D.C. So did that, met them, and it was good for me because I wanted to move to New York City to start building my music consulting firm, because I started really tapping into distribution. Actually, the wholesaling of phone numbers is what got me interested in distribution. It was something about volume and numbers. So I wanted to learn more about music distribution, DVD distribution, video game distribution. So that when I moved to DC, I only stayed there for a year and a half, left him with the store, and then moved to New York. And that's when my distribution uh, industry careers really got started.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So that brings us close to today with the Time
Yes.
Media Group, and you
Yes.
have taken that interest and you have spun it all around as a business consultant and an
Yes.
author and a ghost author.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah. So the book business, actually, how I ended up in the publishing business, again, books, music, movies, they all need distribution, right? That's so I actually published a record label directory, which was like a yellow pages of the urban music industry. And I published that for about 12 years. I started that in New York, and I stayed in New York for about 3 years or so. And I then moved to Atlanta because I started getting a lot of referrals in Atlanta for the music business consulting and so forth. And so this was, by this time, it was 1995. So
Okay.
when I got to Atlanta, networked and so forth, and over 7 years, the business started to change. Distribution was getting scary, right? This is where we are today. So I said, wow, I need to learn technology. Distribution is going to be online. This is getting scary. I will go bankrupt if I don't learn this industry. Because at that time, I was distributing video games, all kinds of movies, and all kinds of products, helping independent artists get them into music stores. You
Right.
know where the music stores are, right? They're
No.
gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the music stores, but my connections, I had a lot of connections with all the wholesalers, the one stops, the rack jobbers. Those were all of my people, but they were going out of business because of online, right? Technology, iTunes, Apple was beginning to launch iTunes and CD Baby, all that stuff was coming in. So I started learning to code because I knew I needed to learn to code, and that's how I started building IPTV channels. I'm an Apple developer. Actually, I develop for iOS. I use Xcode. I use Android Studio. I use Eclipse. So basically, my fear pushed me into all of that technology. And I think in 2010, no, 2009, I built my first Roku app on the Roku XD Roku box in 2009. Yes, so I currently build Roku channels for a lot of my clients as well. And that's the story in a nutshell.
That is amazing. That is amazing. When you
Yeah.
go to bed, at night, don't you just go to bed with a smile and say, I am working hard and I'm doing well and I'm
Yeah,
blessed.
well, the funny thing, if I hadn't met so many talented people along the way,
Mhm.
honestly, I have a high school diploma. I went to college for 1 year, and my average client has an MBA or PhD, and they all know my story. But in order for me to do what I do, I need talented people to publish books for, to build web platforms for, to build applications for. So without their talent, I have nothing to offer.
Well, you have a lot to offer because you've taken these people and you're helping them get to where they want to be. I mean, that is kind of the key, isn't it? To find out what your
Yes,
client wants and to help them get where they want to be. You become indispensable.
definitely. I
Yeah.
think my TV background, I started to work with public access television stations who were looking for additional revenue streams because of their funding being cut. So Atlanta, Tampa, well, Clearwater, I started working with a lot of public access stations, learning more about television production, learning more about lighting and all of those tools that were needed. So again, small business owners were going to need to adapt these tools to put them out there to save money, to get more visibility, and diversify their revenue streams. So from working with radio stations, I actually ran 7 radio stations, helping those radio stations develop online platforms as well. So I mean, I work in all aspects of technology, and again, it's all distribution. You guys call it live streaming, I call
Yep.
it distribution.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's really about distribution at the end of the day. that's
Well,
that's really the currency.
and the words that we understand, well, the acronym we understand is CDN, and that
Yes,
is
content
that's
delivery.
yes, content delivery network. That's YouTube. That's
Very
Facebook.
true.
That's everything that's delivering our content. And so, yeah,
Yes.
our worlds definitely intersect very strongly there. definitely. Now, but you have a special knowledge of the TV industry from your experience there, and you've taken that special knowledge and you've put that into print with your latest book.
Yes.
Tell us about your latest book, please.
Yeah, so basically the book is about OTT and IPTV, how it has taken over the television industry, television and film industry. There are so many independent filmmakers and television producers who are currently looking for CTOs, chief technology officers, to help them with the IPTV and OTT platform development. And I've been blessed to pick up two recent clients to be their CTO. One of the clients they produce on Oprah Winfrey shows in Atlanta. Another client produces a lot of shows in LA. So this book is giving insight to those who are tapping into the film and television industry at this point in time where technology has basically taken over. And I realized this after speaking on a panel at a film industry panel in Miami, where these guys were confused about which way to go because major film studios were not taking new projects unless they were web series or unless they could stream them online through IPTV or OTT. So this book, I'm excited to launch it, and I really want to give it away for free because it's something that it's a product that's the knowledge is so needed today for producers and for content developers understanding IPTV as well as OTT.
I've been amazed in the last probably 10 days, because this is not a word I use at all, but the number of people that have talked to me about IPTV, and
Yes.
they have an understanding, and their understanding is IPTV, and they don't. In some ways they get it all, and in other ways they don't understand that it's IPTV it's more to it than just that acronym. But
Sure.
I talked to this morning to
Yeah.
somebody who wants to. He's working with a college in Mississippi, and he wants to help them develop an IPTV network. And
Okay.
go for it, dude. And at the same time, don't get stuck just thinking IPTV, because there's so much more to distribute than just in that one little category. It just
Yeah,
anyway.
so basically IPTV, when you look at it as a whole, it's internet protocol television. So
Right.
basically it's any content that's distributed over an internet protocol.
Right.
That's basically IPTV.
Right.
YouTube is really IPTV.
Absolutely.
Anything, all of it is internet protocol television, right? So we're now our cell phones are televisions. We have to look
Yes.
at television differently today. Actually, I was at a conference not too long ago in Miami, another conference where all the major television company station, not networks, were there, like gosh, it was just anyone you can think of, they were there. And basically the whole conference was all about IPTV and OTT. I even talked to the president of Viacom, and he spoke. We actually had a dialogue in a seminar where there were like 400 people. He was so shocked that I knew so much about it. He's like, hey, I'm the president of Viacom and I'm still learning about IPTV. It was so amazing. The CEO, the head of acquisitions for YouTube, I can't remember her name, she was there. She spoke. All the top people in the industry were at this conference. And it was amazing how the overall the conference was pretty much about OTT and IPTV.
All right. So
Yes.
tell us specifically about your book. I mean,
Yeah, so
Tell us
So
why we want to run out to our Barnes and Noble tomorrow and buy this book.
it's not out yet. It's coming soon.
Oh, it's not out
It's
yet.
coming
Okay.
soon. But you can email me to pre-order it. Yeah,
Okay.
you can email me to pre-order the book if you'd like as well. And if you're nice, I'll give you a free copy. Yes.
Wow.
So definitely,
Autographed?
yes.
Autographed?
Autographed free copies.
Oh my
Yes, free
goodness. Oh,
copies.
I got to be nice
It's
now.
I truly believe that this book is about planting seeds. It's a seed that I'm going to plant in the hands of individuals who are content developers, such as a lot of your fans or your viewers, Tom. They are looking to develop some major things, but they're not really familiar with the industry and the background of the industry and why it was developed. We focus on live streaming, but overall it's distribution, it's content delivery, right? And content delivery is distribution. So it's so important that you learn this, learn more about this area, because it can enhance your opportunity to bring in more revenue the more information and the more knowledge you have about the industry.
All right. So let's get into it, you and I. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm ready. I have my dukes up.
Okay, good. So I have developed my website, easternshorebroadcasting.com. Just a
Yes.
little plug for my website there. And that's where people go to watch my show. Now I use YouTube because if you're watching right now, you're probably watching on YouTube or Facebook. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook directly, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com, and that way you can get in on the chat. And if you're just joining us, we have Ty Young here from Ty Media Group, who is just astounding, and you got to go back and watch the whole show to hear the beginning of it.
Thank you.
But Ty, I've got my own distribution network. Why am I interested in something beyond the distribution network that I've already set up?
Yeah, so basically, I would call it syndication. If
Okay.
you're interested in syndicating your product, then you would go over to additional platforms.
And
If you're not interested, oh, I'm sorry, go
no,
ahead.
go no. Just I tend to interrupt. Please forgive me in
That's
advance.
okay. No, I don't mind. I don't mind. Go ahead.
So by syndication, you're talking about not my live show, but the recorded versions of my show, right?
Well, actually, you can syndicate live over multiple platforms, right? So it's basically syndication live over multiple platforms, because there are people who are more comfortable with certain platforms, and that's why they prefer to watch it there.
Right.
Right. I think Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg announced in 2003, there was an article where he said he's going to become a distribution company. I have the article, actually, it's from 2003, and that's where Facebook is becoming, because they know people love video, but people want to watch it where they're comfortable, right?
Right.
So they're going to watch it on Facebook. They're going to watch Streaming Idiots on YouTube. They're going to watch it on your own network. So I would see it as syndication, as opposed to why would I go here or why would I go there. But for you, I totally understand why, because your network is also where you offer products. So it's important that you have people on your network. But another opportunity is to stream or syndicated streaming live on other platforms, but also show your products and show the links to your products, so that people can actually, after watching it on another platform, they could come to your platform to buy products. So it's really great to be open with your content, because people have their comfort levels and what they're comfortable with, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you would think, okay, I'm kind of a technology company, but most of the people, well, I would say at least half of the people that call me are not tech people. They have a
Wow.
passion, and they want to bring
Hmm.
their passion to somebody beyond themselves, and they don't know how to do it, and that's why they call me. So maybe I just need to get out of my tech bubble and become something different.
Well,
Huh.
I would say continue to be a tech guy, because what's happening, Tom, every single individual we're all going to have to become tech people because tech is going to run our lives,
Right.
bottom line. So they need to cross over and get a better understanding of technology. That's pretty, I don't mean to be so direct,
I just
you
love that.
know.
I've never heard
I don't
crossover
mean to
used
be
quite like
so,
that. Yeah, that's right.
well, oh, you're funny. You're too cute. Yeah. So, but yeah, they have to begin to cross over into the technology world so that they're more familiar with the tools. Their televisions are going to be technology completely, complete everything. Cables going away. Period. We're going to use technology to get all of our products, bottom line. But one other thing I'll say this about web TV. Web applications are not going anywhere. Google, they're totally pushing web applications. So your website being a distribution outlet, continue to have that because it's very important. Why? Because apps are going to change. Cell phones are going to change. Think about cell phones 10 years ago where cell phones are today. So the applications are going to change, but one thing that is not changing are web platforms. They're just going to get better, but they're going to be HTML5 based and pretty much web based. They're going to go over all platforms or across all platforms.
Okay.
So your website is definitely important to have your distribution from your website.
Okay. All right. So let me back you into a corner here.
Of
Ready?
course.
Here we go. Um,
I'm ready.
knowing what you know about me, and knowing what you know about what
Yes.
I'm doing, and
Uh-oh.
knowing what you know,
Mm-hmm.
how should I move next in using distribution as part of the process?
Well, I would definitely consider starting a Roku channel because
Really?
Roku is, oh, absolutely. Roku now, of course, they have their own televisions that are selling like crazy out of Best Buy. But
Right.
not only that, around the world, people are buying and using these IPTV set top boxes. So having your own Roku channel would be awesome.
I'm,
Also
I'm, I'm
having,
making notes here. Yeah.
you're making toast very good. You're such a good boy. No, just kidding. So no, I'm just kidding. So yes, I would say definitely a Roku channel. Definitely an Android app with the Streaming Idiots Android app for television and Android TV app, also an iOS TV app, because these are going to this it's basically syndicating your show, but these are tools that are going to be here for a long time, but definitely will give you more visibility, especially from the cell phones, from the smartphones as well.
And where might I go to get someone to build me a Roku channel or an Android TV app or an iOS TV app, Ty?
Well, Tom, how about this? I will build your Roku TV channel for free.
Ah. So, but if I wasn't me, if I was somebody else and I was just watching and I wanted to find
Okay.
somebody that could develop this stuff for me, would I call you?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, you could call me definitely. And that the website I gave you earlier, iptvbusiness.com,
Mm-hmm.
iptvbusiness.com, that platform basically is a referral network where I refer people out to IPTV developers. But I would say LinkedIn has a ton of IPTV or Roku channel developers. You can also contact Roku at their website, roku.com. They also have a resource center and a forum where you could actually reach out to Roku developers as well.
Okay.
Roku is probably the number one uh, sh- IPTV box or set top box at the moment. They're beating Apple, they're beating Amazon Fire. They're pretty much number one. In addition to that, they have the televisions that are selling like crazy in Best Buy and all of the other stores as well. So I would say Roku is definitely probably the next step for you, Tom.
Okay, so one of the guys in the chat room is saying, and he's from England, is saying Roku. I've heard of that,
Yeah.
but it's not something that's been on his radar. Is it
Okay.
something that's in the U.S. only? Do you know, Roku?
You know what? I'm not sure if it's in the US only, but you could go to their website, roku.com, ROKU.com, where you
Okay.
could get all of the information and the details. I'm pretty sure I don't think it's only in the US because it's
Okay.
IPTV. Well, no, it's not,
Sure.
because as a matter of fact, my guys, I have a team of guys in New Delhi who help build apps for me as well, and they build my Roku. Well, they don't build all. I build most of them, but when I'm overwhelmed or too busy, these guys are really great with
Okay.
Roku development. So obviously, it's in India because they use it
Right.
to test apps for me and so forth. Yes.
And Chris is saying in New Zealand that he hadn't seen it there either. So maybe it's gradually making its way from
Okay.
the more populous countries. Yeah. Okay. Well, Chris
Gotcha. I
Chris will have to
definitely
send you
say
one.
go to their website.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Yeah. I
Guillaume
definitely
is
say go to
saying
their
in
website.
France that it's not available everywhere, not so much in Europe. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
so that's
Okay.
interesting. That's a great opportunity for Roku. If it's not in
Well,
Europe, it could
maybe
be in Europe. Maybe it's under a different
maybe
name.
because in the maybe because in the US we're more couch potatoes than other countries. So
Yeah,
they're
that's
getting
right.
all the couch potatoes signed up right now, so they'll
Well,
move over to the more active countries sooner than later, I'm
and
sure.
there is a cord cutting going on. That's for sure. Yep.
Very
Okay.
true.
Wow.
Very true.
Ty, I don't want to abuse your time. You have been so great to spend
Sure.
time with us, and I'm hoping
Oh
we're
yeah.
going to close out the regular show, but then we'll be in the post show. So maybe you can hang around the post show because I think some of the guys and the gals in the chat room might have a few questions for you. Would that be all right?
Totally. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you
Oh,
for having
you are so
me. It was
sweet.
really
You are so
great.
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can come back on again in the future once the book is out and you're working on your next book because this is like book number 5 for you, right?
It was like 5 or 6.
5 or
Yeah.
6,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
you've ghost written on behalf of your clients like 6 or 7 dozen books.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. So if you're interested
Yes.
in having somebody write a book for you about your business, Ty might be somebody you want to talk to. TyMediaGroup.com. Ty,
Thank
super.
you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. All right, we're
You're
gonna put
welcome. Thanks,
Ty
guys.
back in the green room, as it were, and
Okay.
then we're going to close out the show here. But and if you're watching live, hang on, because we're gonna pepper Ty with some more questions. But thank you so much for watching today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being such a great audience. If you missed the first part of this, come on back. I mean, just rewind YouTube and it'll rewind. It'll be on our website later today, and I think it's on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, join our Facebook group, Streaming Idiots. It'll be a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot about streaming. We've got folks that are really, really good there, and then we've got newbies too, so you'll fit right in no matter where you're coming from. And by all means, join subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've watched the show this far, you may as well subscribe. You're hooked. And then, of course, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com where you can get all sorts of great streaming products and great advice, too. Actually, I do coaching, so I'd be happy to help coach you through getting started or help you work through a tight spot if you're having one. On behalf of me and Ty and all the other streaming idiots, thanks for tuning in today, and we will see you again next week on what's the name of the show? Oh yeah, Streaming Idiots. Y'all take care. Another good show. Wow. Who would have thought? And we are done. And Ty, we're going to bring you back on. Oh, Ty's checking her mail, so we'll wait for her to get back. And if you guys have got questions for Ty, we're just going to mute her volume here just a tad until she comes back. Oh, there she comes. All right, there she is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. No, we're in the post show now. We're in the post show now.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I had no idea.
Oh,
I
that's
apologize.
Fine. You heard about the guy that was doing one of these shows. He was wearing a wireless lav mic. He thought the show was over, and he had to go. And so he went out of his office. He went down the hall to the men's room.
Yeah.
And he went, but his mic was still live.
Oh my God! Wow.
You only do that once.
Wow.
Oh goodness. Okay, so we're getting lots of kudos in the chat room for you. Rich Shoemaker, it says thank you. Jens, who's over in Sweden. Is it Sweden where Jens is? Christy Lambert says thanks. Guillaume is debating with you that IPTV is he says it's that it's not all internet TV distribution, that technically IPTV is based on multicast distribution for on-air TV channels and can only address STVs, that is smart TVs. But I think we're expanding the definition of IPTV because people are coming to me all the time with the idea of developing an IPTV network, and they're not going anywhere close to a TV station or a traditional distribution from that matter. It's all going to be, YouTube, Facebook, private labeled CDN, and maybe as a third level, they're going to go to Roku or something else like that. But they're just going to go straight to the world through their own website and a little player posted on their website.
Yeah, well, whatever works for you, I say go for it. That's how I see it. Whatever, definition or structure works for you, I say that works. It's all good. Yeah. So,
Rick Clear, who's in Atlanta, and I met Rick at StreamCon a couple of weeks ago, said this info really hits home with me. Thank you, Ty. So there you go.
Wow. Awesome. Very good.
And Rich Ignacio, who has had several big hits on Facebook and YouTube. He had one video on YouTube that hit over a million viewers, and does a lot of jet ski racing. That's his thing.
Oh, cool.
And he says, "Woohoo! It's time for the next gen." So we're all looking for that.
Yes.
Okay. And
Cool.
Jan is saying that he is in Sweden but from Denmark, and it's Jens that's in Denmark. So I had those guys wrong. My European geography is really, really poor.
You're in Alabama.
That's right.
It hurts you a little bit.
Well, that's true. And R.J. Murdoch, who is just across the border in Florida, says that he thinks that OTT, over the top, originally meant to supplement the over-the-air broadcast. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Definitely set-top boxes. That's pretty much the OTT or set-top boxes, pretty much. Yeah, it's all confusing today. They're all using the same term for.
Right.
So, whoever wants to be the winner, claim it, right? So, but at the end of the day,
right.
Everyone's using their own terminology. So,
and there is a lot of confusion, but what we're going to see is that we are in one of those bubbling times where things are bubbling, and all sorts of things are coming up into the atmosphere, and by the time we can put them all in little boxes, the incredible growth will have gone away. So let's don't get so worried about putting things in boxes yet. Let's just grow the market and see what happens. I am absolutely excited. Rich Ignacio says that nobody knew this, but that Alabama is actually the center of live streaming. So that's right.
I love it. It's true.
Philip Klaus, who is in Austria, asks when is the book going to be out?
Yes, we're looking at September.
September, so not long.
September this
Okay.
year. Not
Ju-
long. Yeah.
just about the time that vMix comes out with its beta on vMix 2X. All right. Very
Oh,
good.
very cool.
Now, Boris, who's out in California, says that his understanding is that OTT is public network based, no local control. So interesting there.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't tackle that one. That's too that's above my head. Yeah. I'll leave that one for Boris.
And
Yes.
Tommy, who is just up the road from me in Reeltown, Alabama, which is near
Very cool.
Montgomery, has
Okay.
just now joined us, and so he says that we're stereotyping Alabamians. So
Oh no, they're awesome. People. I mean, I've been to Alabama. What you guys have? I-20, I-85,
I-10,
Birmingham and Montgomery.
yep, yep,
I-10, that whole little loop there.
yep.
10, 85, 20. I've driven those highways so many times from Atlanta, from Florida. So you guys are very cool.
All right,
Yes.
RJ has an actual question here. He's not gonna dicker around on terminology. He says, "Can video? We all know what video is. Be streamed, and we know what streaming in is. Can video be streamed live to a Roku channel?"
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yep.
right. So
Hmm.
there we go, RJ.
Yeah.
Sounds like we might need to do a show on that to clarify and
Yeah,
show
you
how
can
that
use
can be
someone
done.
like Decast. Decast has a product to use for live streaming on Roku.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
All right. So I have to have a Decast type organization in order to stream to Roku.
Yes. Or is
Okay.
it Stream? Another one is Stream Engine, or is it
Okay.
Stream Engine? Yeah, they have. They also have a system where you can stream live from their CDN to Roku as
Okay.
well. Yeah, it
And
just
those are
has to be
actually
coded.
paid providers. That's right. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Good.
So, Tom, I need a favor.
What?
So, I need you to go to a one shot with you while I plug in my laptop. The battery is going.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. All right.
Yes.
All right. So we got, let's see. So Merle wants to know how much should one pay for a Roku app? And RJ says, is Roku just for on demand? And let's see. Gilliam says Netflix has its own CDN but does not deliver over the last mile. Okay. And Rick is here. Rick, boy, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, but he's from Indianapolis, and he's from the webcasting group on, what do you call it? You call it Facebook. Yeah, we're going to turn down her mic for just a second, make sure she doesn't go off to the ladies' room. Tommy says since he was late, he's going to be providing hog jows and grits for refreshments with a clear but flammable liquid. That would be moonshine. Okay, Tommy. Gilliam says that Roku is supposed to be 24/7 content channel. That's good. That's good. So RJ says, so as more people watch your live Roku channel, then it will use bandwidth from your CDN. That's what it sounds like, Tommy. That's what it sounds like. And Gilliam says it's not for don't know what that word is in English. Ponctual. You'll have to unpack that one for me in whatever language it was originally. Okay, great. Well, Rick, glad you are here. And looks like we need to take a look at Roku, and we need to take a look at Ty also mentioned the Android TV app and the iOS TV app. Sounds like things that we need to pay attention to. Ty, is that right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so
Yes.
essentially, people are going to be everywhere, and we have to be where they are.
Wow, that's a great tagline. People are everywhere. We need to be where they are. That's an awesome tagline. That's exactly what's going on. They're on so many different platforms. and we need to be there. It's an opportunity to position yourself as an expert in your field, or also just build a network, because they say your net worth is based on your network. So yes, we need to be everywhere, since there are so many different platforms to use as well.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yes.
all right. Here we go. Here we're getting, and we're not even in the show anymore. We're in the post show, and this is where the good
Okay.
stuff happens, because this is where everybody relaxes, and we get to the.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, oh, let's just say three. If you had to pick
Hmm.
three channels, and you were going to make your book available in video format. Don't ask me how you were going to do that, but let's say you were going to
Sure.
do that,
Hmm.
and you had to pick three
Yep.
channels to distribute it in video
Hmm.
format. What three channels would you pick?
I would pick Facebook Live.
Okay.
I'd pick Roku,
Okay.
and I would pick Facebook, Roku, and YouTube. Those are the three that I would pick
Okay.
to use to broadcast my content.
Okay.
Definitely. But I would also have my own web platform, and that would be number one, because your own platform is the number one platform for you to be on before anyone else. The other platforms are sideshows. Okay, I'm just being honest.
Be
We
honest.
really have to have our own brand. We need to own our own domain, if you will. Of course, there's domain name, but it's still your domain. What I love about your show, Tom, Streaming Idiots, is your domain. Eastern Shore Broadcasting is your domain. That's very important.
Right.
Very important.
Right. Right. I agree. Because as we've seen from what was it, Blog TV, it disappeared
Mm-hmm.
overnight. 2 weeks ago, Facebook decided they didn't like vMix, and so if you were streaming
Mm.
to Facebook from vMix, Facebook cut you off. Now vMix fixed it really
Wow.
quickly, but for a period of about
Okay.
18 hours, you couldn't stream from
Mm.
vMix to Facebook because vMix had inadvertently violated the Facebook's terms of service.
Oh, wow.
And when Facebook found out about it, they cut them off. And vMix found it, fixed it. We're back in business. But anything can
Okay.
happen if you don't own the
Yes.
platform.
Yep.
It can be pulled out from under you anytime. Try
Yep.
try streaming a live sporting event on YouTube and let the band start playing some music, or let them play some pre-recorded music during a timeout. YouTube picks up on that. They'll shut you down if that's copyrighted content. You don't have any control over that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we should be focusing on mobile. Mobile is where everything is going. Everyone's going to, I mean, if you're at work, you're at school, there you go, you're at church, you're on mobile. That's why it's very important to have your own TV app, your own Android and iOS TV app, where people can watch Streaming Idiots live from the app. As a matter of fact, I build a lot of radio station apps. I have an app, a radio station that I have. It's called Instant Income Radio. Instant Income Radio. It's in iTunes, and it's in
Have an
Google
app,
Play
a radio
Store,
station
Google
that I
Play
have.
Store
It's
as
called
well.
Instant Income Radio.
But you can download it from your cell phone. You can listen to it. It's a 24-hour radio station, and we need to do the same thing. Very cool. See, on mobile. Yeah.
Here we are.
So yeah, yeah, definitely.
So
And
what you're
you
saying
want
is,
it to where?
good, let me jump
Sorry.
in
Go
here.
ahead.
That's all right.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
So what you're saying is, I can't. It's not just enough for me to be available on Facebook or YouTube on my phone. I've got to own some
Right.
real estate here too.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. Because there are people who are at their office right now, and they can't they can't get on Facebook or get on YouTube from their computer. Okay, and they really don't want it to look like they're on their cell phone on Facebook, or right, because it's not cool. So, but they can click one icon on their iPhone or their Android phone or whatever phone they have, and your app pops up, and automatically the video starts. Like there's no interruption, but automatically click on that icon. Same with the radio station applications. If you're in radio, you got to have your own radio app. You can just click on that icon and the radio starts to play 24-hour stations. So
Wow.
technology is taking over.
Wow.
Everyone's listening to radio on their apps. They're listening to on their cell phones. We're going mobile, global mobile. It's global mobile. That's what we need to concentrate on. Definitely. And as you said, Tom, having your own platform is very important. I don't even know how to stress that, because the more people you have coming on your platform, the more you would attract advertisers and fans and so forth. It's really important to have your own platform.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, all of a sudden if Facebook decided tomorrow they didn't like me, they could just cut me off and nobody would know where I was going. Nobody know where I went. Yeah.
Very true. I believe Facebook and Twitter are more there. It's good to syndicate your product there, but they're more of the advertising space to advertise to people where you are. As a matter of fact, I spoke with the Discovery Channel the acquisition guy from Discovery Channel when I was at this TV conference a few months ago, and I asked him, is it possible for IPTV content developers, is it possible for them to market their IPTV channel on the Discovery Channel? And he said, absolutely. We cross promote ESPN. We cross promote Oprah Winfrey. We cross promote VH1 on Discovery Channel. Because they were trying to get producers to buy airtime, like blocks of time, having independent producers. I said, why would I buy a block of time for $100,000 when I can just buy an ad on Discovery Channel and send you to my own Roku channel or my own web channel? He said, you have a point there, Ty. So, we have to utilize these people as, marketing tools as opposed to our distribution outlets. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You're preaching to the choir. I love that. I agree. I mean, I'm going to say something that I don't believe the way it comes out, but we have to be the masters of our own destiny.
Very true.
Now, I believe that there's one that's greater than us that's the master of my destiny, but setting that aside for a minute, in the business world, we have to be the masters of our own destiny. In the streaming world, whether we're doing it because it's a hobby we're passionate about or because we're making a living off of it, we have to control that environment as best we can. Because if we don't, we don't know what's going to happen next. It's not so much, I was going to say it's not so much about the past, it's about the future, but I've got 450 videos sitting up there on YouTube that I guess could disappear tomorrow. I've got copies of them here, but they're out there doing their work, and I'm kind of counting on them staying out there. If they disappeared, I'd have to have a backup plan, which I don't have.
Yep, absolutely. Ooh, that's scary. Yeah, so I would definitely say to back up those videos on YouTube and start, put them in your CDN where they could, distribute from there, because it could happen. YouTube could get hacked and all of your videos are lost very easily.
Yeah.
They could
somebody could complain and say I was doing things that violated the terms of service, and they might just drop everything and then later take a look and see if that were the case. Yeah. Okay, we got some other questions here. Let me see if I can pull back to them. Somebody's phone is ringing here. Could be mine. There was a question here. Kenny is asking, just ballpark, what is the average cost to develop. Oh, and I lost it. Where'd it go, guys? Kenny, bring me your comment again. I can't find it. It's up there. And somebody said that you need to vote for me on streaming awards .com/vote. That's good. Thank you. I was in first place, Ty. For about a week, I was in first place, and I've dropped all the way to 10th.
Wow, very cool.
I've dropped down to 10th place, so I'm not holding out very well.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I didn't think I deserved to be in first place anyway, so I'm happy to be in 10th. Kenny says, how much to develop an app? Put him in the ballpark. $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000.
God, that's the range right there. From your little brother, from your little brother, you're some little kid to like a professional company. Okay, so right, just to be honest, but from a professional perspective, I'd say anywhere from 1,500 to, and it could go. It depends on what kind of tools and bells and whistles and all that good stuff that you want in there. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's crazy, the range. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, so what I hear you saying, for a professional app, don't expect to pay less than $1,500.
Right.
Know that it's going to be more. And Ty is in such demand here. Ty, we probably need to cut you loose so you can take care of all those folks.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Tom. I'm so sorry.
You have been so gracious. Thank you so much for coming on.
Okay. You guys were awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. We're going to say goodbye to Ty. Thank you, Ty.
Signing off. You're welcome. Thank you.
Signing off. She is officially signed off. All right, Ty. Wasn't that great? Isn't Ty great? I mean, wow. Let's see. Where's our post show? There we go. Ty is good. Ty is good. And that was TyMediaGroup.com and IPTVBusiness.com. And the book was The Truth About Independent Movie and TV Distribution, subtitled The Playing Field Has Been Leveled with Video on Demand and IPTV, coming out in September. So when it comes out, I'll make sure we mention it again. If you're interested in getting a copy, we'll make sure that a copy is available somehow for you to get. You might have to pay for it. I didn't do this earlier because I was so excited about having Ty on the show, but I want to recognize RJ and Rich and Kurt and Merle and Tommy and Kyle and Philip and Mike and guest 903 and Jim and Bill and Elmar and Christy and Kenny and Indrick and Richard and Samuel and Chris and Gilliam and Richard and Rick and Prashana and Dave and Boris and that looks like Ty there, IPTV Newswire. Guest 718, Dan, Johnny, Jerome, Jens, Dave, Ken, Jan, Byron, Rick, Giles, Daniel. So glad you guys are here today. And I hope you got a lot out of the show. I sure did. I got a free Roku app.